Execution, Kommando. Stillgestanden. Angelegen. Schießen! Take a good look. This is what happens to terrorists and criminals.
They've shot them.
Bastards. No wonder they didn't round up half the town with them.
2 of them are not much older than Luke.
I said they were taking too many risks. Crazy English.
It's for us they were taking them, Father. We must get word to Louis. Look and go. Look!
Louis! It's important we get in touch with Eric.
Morning, Faye.
Morning.
I've got those false messages for you. Want to hear the latest gems from the Balfour pen?
Sorry, Ned, not now. All 3 of them.
3 of our best men, too. Christ! There's the whole section. How did they get onto them?
No one seems to know. Bad security, I suppose.
Some bloody Frenchman talking too much.
Well, the families will need to be told. I'm afraid I shall have to leave it to you, Liz. I'm seeing recruits all day.
There had to be a first time.
There'll only be 2 lots to contact. Bob Mattingly didn't want his mother told. She's very ill.
So we keep the good news notes going.
For the moment.
And the others?
Donald Cooper's parents live in Scotland. You have to send them a telegram.
And what about John Ashton?
There's a wife.
Richmond. I better go and see her. What do we tell them?
The minimum. That their husband or son was killed in action. That since he was engaged in special duties, we can divulge no details. There may be particular requests. If so, they'll be on file.
How many times have you had to do this?
Too many. It doesn't get any easier. And now we start looking for the next lot. They seem to get younger all the time.
This must be it.
I'll wait for you in the park.
You don't have to, Miles.
I don't have to take my leave this week either. How long will you be?
I don't know, could be slung out in 5 minutes.
I hope so.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, you don't think I want you going out there, do you?
Mrs. Ashton?
That's right.
My name's Elizabeth Granger. I'm attached to the War Office. I work for the same organisation that your husband did.
So it really does exist. I was beginning to wonder. Did. Better come in.
I see you're a girl guide.
Yes, patrol leader. So I'm used to trailing and tracking and all that.
You joined the WAF straight from school?
Yes, I'm trained as a wireless telegraphist. I'm musical. I've got a good ear.
And how did you hear about our work?
Well, on the grapevine, really. There was a rumour that agents were being sent to France, women as well as men. Then my CO called me in one day. She said that people like me were desperately needed for special duties. She was very cagey, but I guessed what she meant. I said I would do whatever I could. Then I got your letter.
Why do you want to go out there?
I don't know. I thought I might be useful.
Is that the only reason?
Isn't it enough? I mean, just wanting to help win the war.
We do badly need good wireless operators, it's true. But being a good operator isn't the only requirement.
I do speak French.
How well?
I got a distinction in matric, and I won the school prize for languages. 2 years running.
Have you been to France?
Oh, yes, Paris.
How long were you there for?
Well, only 6 weeks. But my French teacher was a Parisienne, so I've had plenty of conversation practice.
All right. Let's talk in French for a bit. Dites-moi ce que vous savez de la politique interne de la France en ce moment. Quelle est la personnalité la plus prééminente de la France de Vichy? Est-ce que Pétain ou Laval?
Poor old Johnny. How did he cop it? Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you that. You see, the nature of the work we do demands absence.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Of course. Hush, bloody hush.
Well, for what it's worth, your husband was a very brave man. Nobody could have served his country better.
For Christ's sake, spare me the cliches.
Well, in this particular case, it's true. Is there anybody I can contact for you at all? You've no children, have you?
No. No family at all. Johnny's parents are dead as well as mine, thank God. That must be the worst thing of all, seeing your child die before you.
Yes.
Presumably he'll be buried wherever it happened.
Well, after the war, it may well be possible for his remains to be recovered.
You make him sound like a stray parcel.
I'm terribly sorry.
Johnny wouldn't give a damn one way or the other.
He did make a will before he left and lodged it with your solicitors, Wilcox and Bull.
Cock and bull, Johnny used to call them. I'll go and see them.
I do know how you must be feeling.
Oh, yes?
Well, yes, my brother was shot down over Germany.
Boy, I wouldn't have your job. Is this what you do all day, traipse around breaking the news to people?
Well, actually, it's my first time, which is why I'm afraid I'm making such a damn awful job of it.
I don't know about you, but I could do with another snifter.
J'espérais d'abord aller au conservatoire de musique, mais la guerre a mis cela par terre.
Yes, well, your French is quite good.
Thank you.
But I'm sorry. I'm afraid you'd never get away with it over there. You have a pronounced English accent.
Isn't that part of our training? To brush up on our accents?
Yours needs more than brushing up, I'm afraid.
I could do it with practice. I have a good
Emily,
ear.
out there you'd have to pass as a native. Not just with the Germans. You might get away with it with them, but with the French people themselves. Not all of them would be on your side, you know.
I could do it. I know I could. If you gave me a chance.
What about commitments?
How do you mean?
Are your parents alive?
Oh, yes, my father's a doctor in Kent.
And do you have a fiancé or boyfriend?
I have a boyfriend. He's in the RAF too, but we're not engaged.
And how do you feel about leaving him?
Men are leaving their girlfriends all the time. He'd just have to lump it.
I see you're a Catholic.
Yes.
Practicing?
Yes. But I'm not about to take holy orders or anything.
You do realize if you were selected, you might have to lie to your parents.
Yes. But they probably won't ask me very much. I've 2 brothers and 4 sisters, and now they've got evacuees too. They tend to lose track. Probably won't notice I'm gone.
So if you want anything at all, please ring that number and they'll know how to reach me.
Thanks.
How did it go?
Well, she didn't turn me down there and then. I'll know by the end of the week. Should we go and have tea somewhere?
I've got a better idea. We could go to my brother's flat. He's away, didn't I tell you?
Oh, I couldn't come. Well, his own on leave. Oh, I'm glad. You've never
Lawrence?
Well, I didn't want to say anything really, but I can't
Hello, darling.
from another, can you?
Oh, you beat me to it.
That's a man of war. Man of war.
I have started the supper. It was the stew, I take it?
Yes, it was. So how was your day?
Mostly paperwork for the court-martial. Yours? More talks to trainees?
I had to tell a woman that her husband had been killed.
One of your agents?
Yes. Although she doesn't know that, of course.
That could have been me.
What?
Well, that Ashley woman coming to tell me that you'd been killed. God, when I think back. My wife playing spies behind enemy lines. You must have been mad.
Faith, I'm so sorry I'm so late getting back.
That's all right. I'm just about giving you up, as a matter of fact.
No, I really am sorry. It's just that I promised to meet Julian.
How is he? Still the rosy-cheeked schoolboy I used to know?
Goodness me, no. He's a man now. Well, almost. Desperate to do his bit, which is why our chat went on for so long.
Joining up? Oh, but Cad, he's so young.
I know. Anyhow, how are we doing on recruits?
Well, I'm recommending 6 to be sent on the next course. Although there's one I'm not sure about.
Who's that?
Emily Whitbread, the young WAF telegraphist.
What's she like?
Very young. Very determined. Of course, the fact she's already an experienced operator is a terrific bonus.
Well, what are your reservations?
Her French will need a lot of work.
Well, see, she gets it. You know how desperate we are for wireless operators.
No, Miles, please, you promised.
I know, but you can
I
hardly...
said we shouldn't come back here.
You wanted to, don't you?
Yes, but
I'd be careful.
it's not just that. It's just I'd rather...
Oh, wait until you're married.
I know it sounds...
But you won't even get engaged. Come on, Em. You could be off on some damn course in a week or two. Then God knows when we'd see each other again.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't lose respect for you.
I might for myself.
Yes, I'll need to see them all urgently. Can you arrange an appointment at Parkgrove Mansions?
Yes.
Those false messages you wanted for the BBC.
Afternoon,
To
preferably.
be sent out at weekly intervals.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Takes me back.
Could you tell which were the phony ones?
Sometimes. Kit was better at it than I was.
Any news of your brother-in-arms over the water?
If you mean, are they bringing him back? No.
How long's the poor sod been out there?
Over a year?
Wonder he hasn't cracked up.
He's never asked to come back.
Perhaps he's got a bit of French crackling hidden away.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
It strikes me the only way they get themselves replaced these days is by being shot.
Why must he always be so damn flippant?
Caddy's looking for a replacement for Kit, you know, Liz. Yes. Who is it? And what does she want, do you know? All right, you better put her through. Special line for you, Vivian Ashton.
Thanks for coming.
No, I told you if there's anything at all that I can do to help.
There is. I want you to fix for me to see the Big White Chief, Colonel James Cadogan, head of the French section of the outfit. Or should I say, Organisation for the Infiltration of Occupied Territories. There, that took you by surprise, didn't it?
How on earth did you find out?
I went to see Cock and Bull. There was the will, of course, and a letter from Johnny. Telling lies went against the grain.
Oh. I see.
And why do you wish to see Colonel Cadogan? I think that's my business, don't you?
Mrs. Ashton.
Colonel Cadogan, I presume.
How do you do?
Do come in.
Thank you.
Let me take your coat.
Thank you.
Why aren't you in uniform?
Oh, I only wear it on official business. Otherwise, I prefer to...
Remain anonymous.
And comfortable.
I suppose you're wondering why I'm not in mourning. Johnny hated that sort of thing.
I'm so sorry about John. I regarded him as a friend as well as a valued agent. I knew him before the war.
Yes, I know. We used to supply you with wine, didn't we? Is that how you came to recruit him?
With his knowledge of France, he was an obvious candidate.
We met there. He was just starting out the wine business. I was an actress, cabaret and that, doing a season in gay Paris. Whiskey?
Oh, yes, thank you. I see your interest in the theatre remains. I like the Piero.
Good. I painted it.
Oh.
It's one of the things I dabble in.
It's lovely.
Good. Do sit down.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
I gather you've done some work for the NAFI.
If you can call it that. Keeping the bigwigs supplied in booze. I go round the big estates buying up their cellars on the cheap. But I'm on the lookout for more challenging work.
Anything in mind? You can ply me with Paul Roger for the rest of the evening. My answer will be the same.
Perhaps you underestimate the persuasive powers of the vintage.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ashton.
Oh, Vivian, for heaven's sake. And I shall call you Cat.
All right, Vivian. But I'm afraid it's still out of the question.
Why? Is it my age? I know I'm no chicken, but Johnny was 5 years older.
Age is not necessarily a bar.
Because I'm a woman, then? Well, let me tell
we
you,
have several women on our files. Mrs. Granger, who came to see you, was working in the field until recently.
Never. She didn't strike me as the type.
That's why she made such a good agent.
So if it's not my age or my sex, what have you got against me?
Well, apart from anything else, it's less than a week since you heard about John. You haven't had time.
I don't need time.
Yes, you do. You're in a state of shock. It's far too soon.
Oh, all right. I'm cut up about Johnny. Well, for heaven's sake, we were married for 15 years, but this isn't some sort of hysterical reaction. I'm not the hysterical type.
Look, Vivian, an agent needs all sorts of skills and ability.
Johnny was good enough for you.
Yes.
So what assets did he have that I haven't got or would have with training? I speak French as well as he did, better. I dealt with the vineyard owners.
Oh, did you?
I have all his know-how and more. I may not be Sarah Bernhardt, but I can pass myself off as most things.
I'm sure you could.
And what about my drawings, sketches of buildings and whatever? Wouldn't that be useful? I tell you straight, Cad. You'd be mad to turn me down.
Yes. I've been. Thanks awfully. It's a trek from the station.
Do you work there, or are you going on this here course?
What course would that be?
Oh, I can see you are going to make a bumper agent.
Sorry. I thought you might be testing me.
Righto, let's start as we mean to go on. I'm Solange. Who are you?
I'm Zoe.
Have you heard from Vicky lately?
Yes, we had a letter yesterday. It's full of school food and gas mask practice and somebody called Primrose Weatherby.
That's jolly good handwriting.
Yes, the spelling leaves a bit to be desired. At this time last year, little did I think that she'd be dug in at boarding school. And I'd be, well, what am I, an ex-secret agent?
You miss it, don't you?
Oh, it's ridiculous. I know half the time I was scared out of my wits, but yes, when Mattie went back into the field, I envied her. How is my old friend, anyway?
Oh, she's fine.
Leading the Germans a merry dance, I shouldn't wonder.
Liz, the work you're doing now is essential too, you know.
Yes, I know, but it's not like being out there.
You'll settle down.
Will I? Well, perhaps you could tell me how. And that's one thing that the outfit doesn't teach us. You train us, you change us, you send us out there, and then you bring us back and expect us to pick up our lives as if nothing had happened.
How did that tune go again?
Which tune?
You know, the one the French resistance used instead of a password.
Oh. Da 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 da
That's it.
da 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 da.
Inside the unset quarters. Now you need to get into the main building. But as it happens, the door's locked. So you'll have to pick it, won't you? Now that's where you girls have the advantage. Here's an hairpin. Take your time, won't you?
I don't think I will ever make a catbird.
Ah, you will when I finish with you.
And I bet he didn't learn that at Sandhurst.
Hier soir, je suis allée chez mon petit ami. Il m'a fait un très bon dîner. Il m'a fait des saucissons. Et puis, il m'a fait sauter les patates. What did I say?
That your boyfriend made you make love to the potatoes.
Oh.
Now, most of you will have spent some time in France before the war, probably staying with family or friends where the sanitary arrangements were rather less primitive than those you'll encounter now. Forget about baths. And in the country areas, you'll be lucky if you can find an outside lavatory, let alone an indoor one.
So just crouch down whenever you're taken short and hope there's not an SS man creeping up behind you.
It's not a joking matter. Any more questions?
I'm not looking forward to that initiative test tomorrow. I wonder what we have to do.
There's a pool of sulfuric acid.
Moses!
Oh, it's nothing to it. You make stepping stones across, you'll find some blocks of wood in the undergrowth.
How do you know?
I eavesdropped on a couple of guys who did it yesterday.
But that's cheating.
Yes. OK, Pierre, your turn for the couch.
What's he like?
Like all psychiatrists, mad as a hatter. Hey, don't forget to tell him your erotic chic fantasy.
What do you have to do?
Well, first, you look at a lot of blots. Then he asks you what you see.
And what do you see?
Blots. But you don't say that. You say Churchill and spiders and Swip Hood. Then he asks you a lot of damn fool questions about your parents. My God, if I told him the truth, he'd have had a field day. And you be careful what answers you give Zoe. Tell him you're one of 7 children. He'll say you're only doing this from a subconscious desire to be noticed.
Perhaps I am.
Well, so bally what? What does it matter why we go, as long as we do? We all have our reasons.
Looks as if we'll have to turn him down then. Can't have an agent who talks in his sleep. Pity. Who's next?
Zoe, Emily Whitbread. Now, her report's very good. Only scraped by with the shooting, but she passed everything else respectably. Stamina, determination, very good radio technique.
You were worried about her French.
Yes. Well, she's worked like a Trojan. There's still the trace of an English accent. Perhaps if we give her a colonial background, that covers a multitude of sins.
I'll leave that with you then. Radio operator. Next.
Peter Slade, Antoine. Now, Major Duncan recommends we send him on the leader's course.
Oh, good. That's just what I hoped. I've got him penciled in to replace Kit Vanston. Who else? Liz?
I'm sorry. Solange, Vivian Ashton.
Ah, yes.
Now, she appears to have broken every rule in the book and led, or rather thinks that she led, our psychiatrist to merry dance too. Now, both he and Major Duncan rate her highly. They say she's resourceful, strongly motivated. She has photographic memory.
But you don't like her?
She's all right. Anyway, that's not important.
It's odd she didn't find herself some worthwhile work before. Something more edifying than keeping the officers in wine.
And siphoning off cases for herself.
Well, she probably needed a trigger, like I did.
Well, the main thing is she's keen to go. She knows the area well, got lots of good contacts. That's a considerable bonus. I think we should take her. Perhaps you could find out if she and Zoe would work as a team.
Now, before you leave us, we're setting you just one final test to see how you operate in the field as teams, which could obviously have a significant bearing on your futures. Solange and Zoe. Yes, nice little task for you. I want you to steal a car. It's chauffeur-driven, belongs to the chief constable of the county. Have it back here by dark.
Right, there's the chauffeur. Can't see his nibs bleeding in the car. Off you go, no time to lose. Make up to him, find out when he'll be driving his bus to work.
Wouldn't you be better at that?
Oh, he mustn't see me. My star performance comes later.
But what shall I say to him?
I don't know. Just flash those big baby blue eyes at him.
Excuse me.
Hello.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but I wonder if you could help me.
What are Kat's plans for Kit when he comes back?
A good long leave first, I imagine.
He's going to find it incredibly difficult to acclimatise after this long.
He's got more than just coming home to get used to. It'll be a home without his wife and children.
Is there any news on the new leader for Area 7?
No, not yet. Count waiting on reports from Zoe and Solange.
Come in. Colin, good to see you.
Hello, Cap.
How do you find the leaders' course?
Well, France was a walkover compared to it.
Then you won't mind if we send you back there pretty soon.
No, the sooner the better. Never did enjoy waiting in the wings. Now, which area were you thinking of?
7. Well away from your previous stamping ground. You've been centred here in Montreux, become one of our vital areas since they occupied Vichy, France. The previous team did quite a bit of groundwork, but since they were caught, we've only just managed to keep communications going.
Right. What's resistance like there?
Very fragmented. Various local groups, communists, Free French, whatever that means. Oh, and there's a group of the Maquis hiding up here towards the Pyrenees.
So my job will be to coordinate them?
Coordinate them, train them, knock them into shape. You may have guessed the Allies are planning to invade France in the not-too-distant future. A lot will depend on the backup we can give them from within.
Well, I'll do my best.
And, of course, we'll find you a watertight cover story to account for your exemption from forced labor.
Who else will be in my team?
Well, I'm hoping to move a sabotage chap over from Area 6. Gaspar. He's one of our best. You'll meet up with him out there. The other 2 are women.
Mattie?
No. She's busy elsewhere now. But they're a good pair. You'll meet them when they finish their training. Provided they get through, that is.
Tell them we need 2 planes urgently. One to send a team into the southeast, the other to drop an agent into Normandy together with some arms supplies. No, we'll need to land because we're picking someone up too. I know all that, Reg, but this is top priority. Oh, would you be an angel? I'm sure you can wangle it. Oh, thanks. Stupid old buffer. How do they expect us to step things up without any aircraft? Just shows where we are on their list of priorities.
How are Colin's team making out on the parachute course?
Better than expected. Evidently Zoe is a natural. Just as well, since we're having to rush them through.
They're going to be ready for the next full moon?
Should be. Can I leave safe house arrangements to you?
Right, I'll get a message out tonight.
You know where to contact me.
Closing early, aren't you, my dear? Oh, hello, Annette. Oh, things are so quiet, it's not worth staying open.
You had one customer anyway. He's in quite a bit, isn't he?
Good thing someone is. I've been seeing you.
Joseph?
Yes.
What did he want?
The British are sending another team in. He wants us to house the wireless operator.
What did you say?
That I'd have to discuss it with you.
Too risky.
Well, think what they're risking.
It's one thing passing on messages and doing the odd repair job, but to have a pianist under our roof, it's asking for trouble. There'd be detective vans around any moment.
He won't be transmitting from here. It's just a base he needs.
But why us? There are other people with more room.
Well, they know they can trust us.
Us, perhaps. But there are others in the town. He'd be noticed.
Joseph says the Allies are hoping to mount an invasion before the end of the year. They'll need all the help we can give them. Oh, don't you want to be free of the Boche, Father?
God in heaven, you say that to me. Do you think I wouldn't shoot every last one of them if I had the chance?
He could sleep in the storeroom.
It's Luke I'm thinking of. You've already lost your husband. Do you want to lose your son? A stranger coming here, he'd only draw attention. They'd be bound to check our papers as well as his, and they'd be bound to notice that Luke is coming up for 20. Next thing, they'd be dragging him off to some godforsaken camp in Germany, like Simone's boy.
It's all right, Grandad. You needn't worry about me. I shan't be here. Look, I was going to tell you later. I've decided to join the Maquis.
Press your feet and knees, you tuck your elbows in, push your head right down till you got a double chin. You do the hokey-cokey and you parachute in. That's what it's all about.
They're like a lot of children.
At least they're doing it here. Remember that crowd that took weekend leave and then ended up doing parachute rolls on the dance floor at the Astor?
You're worried about free French security.
Come on, Dave, give us a pint.
Happy landings.
Break a leg. Did you do any musicals when you were acting?
Who said I was an actor?
Ah, I dug out my old theatre programmes. I saw you in Canada.
Fame at last.
You were good.
I knew we'd get on well. Who else have you sorted out?
Most of them. Quite a hodgepodge. Henri's a miner. Antoine's a garage mechanic.
Really?
Paul's a film stuntman. Yvonne's a dress designer. And Zoe is a nice little girl guide who's far too naive to be going on this caper.
They don't seem to think so.
They only see what they want to see. And they need good wireless operators.
And what do you see?
Ah, myself at her age. Come on, let's have a sing-song. Zoe, come on. Give us gory, gory.
He jumps without a parachute from 50,000 feet. He jumps without a parachute from 50,000 feet.
They're in good spirits, that's the thing.
I always think it's a kind of safety valve against what lies ahead.
What, France?
Or concentration camp.
Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Man, he ain't gonna jump no more.
I even feel like a different person. Good, because that's exactly what you're going to have to become. Now, that label's got to come out.
Did it change you much?
Yes, I think so. Now, let's see what they've got in the way of shoes.
But how?
Try those.
How did it change you?
I suppose I grew up.
Liz, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Some of the men kept on about women agents making up to the Germans.
Well, it can help to flirt a bit. Got me out of a couple of tricky situations.
But no more than flirting. I mean...
Well, it would depend. It might be necessary to go further.
You mean to sleep with one?
Yes, in certain circumstances.
Oh, I shan't be needing that. He can have it.
It's not a man. It's a girl. I've sent the details through.
It's a pity I'm going. I've always fancied English girls. What's her name?
Get away with you. You've never met one. She's called Zoe. You will try and get word through to us, won't you?
Don't worry. I'll make contact as soon as it's safe.
Goodbye, son.
Goodbye, Mother.
Take care.
Now, is there anyone you'd like me to write to while you're away?
Those comforting little chits I used to get about Johnny, just to let you know your husband is safe and well.
Well, it can help. It certainly comforted my daughter while I was away.
You can drop the odd line to my old manager if you like. He's the only one who's close. I didn't know you had a child. How old?
5.
Is that why you chucked it in?
I didn't chuck it in. I was recalled.
Why, if you're such a damn good agent?
Cad and Kit, my leader decided between them.
The child, it must have been difficult.
Yes, of course, but I'd already faced up to that. Anyway, then my husband put his foot down, or tried to.
Men making all the decisions. I thought the war had finished that.
got my message then?
Yes.
I just came to say goodbye. I'll be off any day now. We're on standby. And, there's something else.
What's that?
Do you still want to...
Come.
Cad, I've just heard. It's on for tonight.
Oh, right. Everyone's standing by.
Everything's in hand.
What about the local resistance? Can they give us a diversion while... Oh, damn, do that for me, will you? Tell them I'm tied up.
Hello, Colonel Cadogan's office. I'm sorry, he's busy at present. Who? Of course, right away. Prime Minister's office.
Yes, sir. Leave it with us. And thank you again for your confidence. Goodbye, sir. I'm sure you got the gist of that. He's given us official responsibility for coordinating all resistance work.
At last.
Yes, perhaps now people will start taking us seriously.
It means Cad will be spending much more time in Whitehall and so on, and I'll be taking over some of the work at HQ. He's already got meetings lined up every night this week.
Well, if he's not going to be able to see Colin and co off, perhaps I could...
No, I can do that. But Kit's also due in at Tangmere tonight, so can you meet him?
It's me. We're off tonight. They just confirmed it. No, it's all right. No one knows anything. Yes, I will. Wish me luck. Sorry, Johnny.
Well, I'm off now.
Uniform? Didn't realize it was official.
Yes, I'm meeting someone off a plane.
I won't ask who or where.
I won't be back till the early hours, so I'll sleep in the spare room.
Don't I get a kiss? We must get a break together sometime.
I'll see you tomorrow, then.
Well, I never thought I'd see another roast like that.
They don't believe in sending us out on empty stomachs, do they?
Well, we like to give you a meal to remember.
What happens if the flight's cancelled?
You will go home and wait to be called another night.
I couldn't bear that.
Oh, I don't know. If they give us a meal like this every time, I think I'll pray for fog.
How much longer?
We should get the okay in about an hour.
I don't think I can manage anymore.
Kit?
Yes.
Welcome home.
I take it you're the official reception committee.
Well, obviously, Cad would have come himself, but he couldn't get away. So how was the flight?
Fine. A few problems, but
Well, there's a car waiting.
Well, you can take it easy now, Kit. Everything's under control. I'm taking you to the hostel, to the Wilberforce. And you'll be staying there for the time being, and then tomorrow...
Liz! You're beginning to sound like Faith Ashley.
Yes, I know. Well, anyway, they'll ask you a few questions on arrival, and then you can take it easy till the afternoon.
You're part of the HQ setup now, are you?
Yes, I'm also doing quite a bit of training at the Manor.
Where are you living?
Still in our Knightsbridge flat.
And Lawrence, is he still at the War Office?
Well, he's doing quite a bit of lecturing at the moment. Should we cut this small talk, Kit? You're looking dreadful.
Yes. How's Vicky?
She's fine. It was bad, wasn't it?
They're ready. It's time to go.
Kit. Kit. We're here. So, you'll be picked up at 2 o'clock and taken to Park Grove Mansions, okay?
And does CAD still hold meetings in the famous bathroom?
On occasions, nothing changes.
Well...
Well, I'll probably see you in the office. I'm dealing with most of the personnel matters now.
Is that what I've become? A personnel matter?
Well, no. I'm sorry, would you like a hand with your bags?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Well, have a good rest.
Yes.